Good morning from Sandakan, or Sandakan, depends how you want to say it. We're about to head out for the day after our lovely breakfast. We only just stepped outside and it started raining. We're going to head up these 100 steps. Well, there's more than 100 apparently, which is called that. It's part of the Sandakan Heritage Trail and will lead us up to a museum and a coffee house apparently. After all those stairs, the first stop was the Agnes Keith House. She was a famous American writer who wrote about her time in Borneo, and she was married to Henry Keith, who was the conservator of the Borneo forests. That was very interesting history. She was interned Japanese during the war, and that whole place was demolished. All of, what do they call it? Don't call it Sandakan, it's Sandakan. Sandakan was completely taken out during Second World War. There was nothing left at all. Right, we're here at the English Tea House and Restaurant. Hopefully we can get some scones and tea maybe, or maybe coffee. But we'll see. We're the first ones here. They just seem to be opening up. It's 10:15. They're open at 10 o'clock, but it seems like they're just getting ready for us now. Well, the coffee was hot, I'll give it that. The scone was okay, and I'm of the camp that puts the jam on first and then the cream on afterwards, so we enjoyed that. See ya.
Gang of pussycats.
I know. Gonna beat you up before we get out. Will you let us pass? Can we come by? We carried on down the hill, trying to find our way. It wasn't always that apparent, and there wasn't always footpaths for us. We found our way to the temple. Go up the slippery steps. Right, we found the church. There's a pussycat there to greet us. Pussycats everywhere. It's very build your own adventure, this one. There might be heritage trail, but it's hard to find. Hello, pussy. Is that what you say? Hello. What was that? It's quite warm and wet. One is feeling glowy and a bit breathless. But it's an Anglican church in the middle of Sandakan. Here's another temple. We're on a restaurant called Balin Sky Bar, I think, and it's up above an old hotel, no longer in operation. And we're here enjoying the beautiful views, and shortly we're going to have a beer. Good morning. Here we are in the van. We've been picked up by our tour where we're doing our 3-day, 2-night tour with River Junkie, and we're off to the Sepilok orangutans. It was really hot and these guys had it right. They were wearing the right attire. I was not.
This is sound of the jungle.
Sound of the jungle.
This is sound of the cricket.
I was in cotton and I overheated.
This is the building. Actually, this building they do have 2 different rooms.
One room was air conditioned, the one with the green windows, and the other room wasn't. We stayed in here watching the young orangutans fighting and playing and eating. Just a little baby. And occasionally the macaques would come through too.
To the right, don't stop, keep walking.
We're now waiting to go and see the sun bears. We've done the orangutans, had something to drink because it is very, very hot and steamy. Now we're going to have a look at the bears. Then it was nearly time to get back in the van for a 2-hour ride, rather bumpy, over to Hornbill Lodge on the river. By this time I needed a strong cup of coffee to make me feel better. The lodge was lovely, spacious, modern, clean, with its own balcony. We didn't stay in the balcony for very long, it was too hot and it was raining when we arrived. Slippery. On our tour, we want to see the Borneo Big Five, which is the crocodile, the proboscis monkey, orangutan, of course, the pygmy elephant, and the rhinoceros hornbill. These are not them. They are hornbills, but not the rhinoceros hornbill. Good morning from Hornbill Lodge in North Borneo. We've had a comfortable night here. We came yesterday. First of all, we went to the orangutan sanctuary, which was fantastic. However, you can't take any bags in there with you at all. Cameras, you have to pay 10 ringgit each, and I had 2 cameras, and I got a headache just as I was in there. Probably dehydrated and probably got overheated. Finally got back to the vehicle and took some Panadol and took some electrolytes. Had terrible, terrible migraine headache. We've been out on the boat last night, went on a jungle walk last night. There were lots of spiders. We did see a kingfisher and a civet. Got to have the good camera though to pick up any of this. So today we're on for another really exciting day on the water. All right, see you later. Let's go. Are you ready to go? You look ready. Down to your muddy boots. Gonna head out on a walk. Someone is adjusting my cape for me. My poncho. Goodbye these ponchos. And this has been a good thing. We headed out into the wet jungle and eventually made our way up a steep hill to the lookout tower.
Yeah. Because
We are ready for another boat trip. It is lovely and sunny, but there are clouds out there, so it could always rain again. But I've got my poncho ready in case I need it. We were in for a great surprise. There was not just one elephant, we had the whole herd. This is the reality of tourism, isn't it? There was not just one boat. There were about 10 at one point. Apparently these elephants swim across the river and our guides wanted to see that, but eventually we left them alone so that they could graze in peace and we went back to the lodge. The next morning it was very foggy and misty and we went back out on the river, but we really didn't see anything apart from a few monkeys. Mary, lots of elephants, eh? A lot for you too, eh? Later on that morning after breakfast, we got into the vans and we were taken back to Sandakan Airport, where we flew out to Penang, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.